it keeps flowing. The river just keeps flowing. We keep moving, we keep changing, we keep reinventing. Things keep happening. And it just goes on and on and on. And it is all a deep quest to get rid of avidya, ignorance. Because it is ignorance that makes us deeply unhappy. Because we don't understand, because we don't contemplate, because we don't apply the knowledge, we don't have the awareness to apply the knowledge, that we remain in ignorance, and therefore we suffer. And therefore we think we have trouble. And therefore we have expectations. And therefore we can't live up to them. And then we feel disappointment, and then we feel stress, and we feel all the rest of it. All because of avidya. Just ignorance. And that is what makes our life on this earth so meaningful. Because here is a chance you have. This is your opportunity to wake up and see that it's really nothing. It's really nothing. It is an opportunity for you to grow, for you to laugh, for you to just experience whatever you have to experience without the baggage of worry and blame and guilt and responsibility and burdens. So we've had many challenges in 2016, each one of us, whether it's health or office, something going on with the children, some small, some a little bigger. But we're getting through it. Are we getting through it? Are we overcoming everything? Because nothing comes to you that you cannot handle. You are equipped to handle it, therefore it is presented to you. And you can deal with it with a very healthy attitude. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. A friend of my daughter's is going to quit everything, go to LA and try to become an actress. She's in her mid-30s. My first thought was, my God, really? She's going to drop her job and go try to become an actress. And then my second thought was like, why not? Why not? What does an actress have to have? A specific kind of body type, a face? I mean, you get all kinds, right? From Danny DeVito to The Rock. You get all kinds, right? That makeup actresses. So who is to tell her? Who is to tell anybody that they can't do what they want to do? That they can't dream? That they can't create their own destiny for themselves? So in this new year, we have to stop being victims. One of the problems that we face is that we all feel victimized. We feel that the whole universe is conspiring to keep us down, to keep us low, to keep us where we are. And that's why we haven't achieved what we got out to achieve. As soon as you feel like you're the victim, you blame everything and everybody.
Spouse first.
Spouse. Spouse is telling me these things, he keeps me so miserable, your in-laws, your boss, the political climate, For so many 8 years, everybody said whatever problem that was Obama that caused it. So, you blame someone, you need someone to blame, right? Someone is responsible for this. There is no blame here, and you are not the victim. How many times have we said why? Why is this happening to me? Why should this happen to my dear friend, the best person in the world? Not deserving of this at all. How many times have we said it? How many things are happening in our lives right now that we cannot understand, and that why has no answer? And as soon as we say why, you have become the victim. You're the one that the whole universe is against you. All your life itself is against you. Everything is done to make you stay down, remain as low as possible. And that victim mentality does not allow you to break free. As long as you feel that everything is happening to you, even if you don't say it out loud, even if it's just a thought in your head, the vibrations remain within you. And it's even worse when you put it out as a word. When you say, oh my God, I'm never going to do this. I'll never become manager. I'll never buy a 4-bedroomed house. I'll never make this business work. My kids will never go to Ivy League schools. Why? Why do we limit ourselves? Because we feel that we've been victimized. Born in the wrong family. Born in the wrong circumstances. Born with disabilities that we can't overcome. Hurdles. I've done everything. Why should I face this? Why not? Why not? Because it is only possible to grow in pain, in suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Suffering is because of avidya, of ignorance. It's like festering and saying, you have certain painful periods in your life which you can push through, you can go through because everything changes. But what do? You sit and fester in that feeling of, oh my God, what's happening to me? What's going to happen to me? Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Oh my God, am I going to get through to the next year? Worries and fears and anxieties. And it makes everything so difficult. And in the midst of all this, you are the eternal victim. You are the one that suffers in spite of all. And if you actually stopped and talked to a few people, you were surprised how the wisdom comes. The other day, just before we came to Vasanti's house, my mother called up saying she couldn't sleep, and I was like, 5 days she's been in the ICU and nothing has happened, and I was terribly unhappy thinking about my circumstances and how I'm going to deal with it, and my mind was not on what is happening. And then I spoke to her, and she talked about how she has been taking care of her father-in-law and literally gone through the similar things that I'm going through right now. And I thought to myself in that 2 minutes, it's the same. We all have the same circumstances. Why should I feel as if I'm the victim, the only person suffering through this? Why can I not break free of my mind? And these are little lessons that you get from friends, from students, from friends, from relatives, from anybody, where your own past conditioning keeps you where you are, and you have a chance to let the knowledge come and allow you to break free. Because once you've broken free and you've seen that, hey, this is not a situation Everybody goes through this. What is the best thing I can do in this circumstance, given my present situation, where I am today, just now, in this moment? The thing is, this victim feeling takes you out of being in this moment. It takes you into, the future. Oh my God, this future is going to, what am I going to do? How am I going to manage? How is it going to happen? Oh, this person is so miserable. And most often, especially, when I find that I'm very plugged into either my mother or my daughter, they will call and cry to me. And I'll feel terrible. And they've cried to me and they feel much better and they've moved on. And I'm sitting there thinking all these things about them. Is that true? That happens to all of you? Right. We all sit and think, oh my God, how are we going to solve that problem? They felt much better, unburdened, everything, going about their business, doing whatever they have to do. And here we are feeling this, sense of being the victim, Why should my child, or why should my mother, or my father, or my friend suffer like this? The suffering is nothing. The suffering is avidya. Yes, people go through bodily pain. People go through job losses. People go through difficult times. Some difficult, some extremely difficult. But it's all about our reaction to it, right? And sometimes I feel very ashamed that when I see what I'm worrying about, what I'm concerned about. Because it's really so small. It's really so small. Many others have got bigger, much more grave problems to deal with. But when you are going through a situation in your life, and many are going to come up, just because you're meditating, it does not mean that life is going to be without any problems. The only difference is going to be that you're going to convert the problem into a challenge, hopefully, by getting rid of the ignorance and shining light on the situation. Avidya is your biggest enemy. Ignorance is world delusion. Ignorance is what the whole world feels. The general fear in the country, we saw that in the election. What fear? If you actually, went deep and really contemplated on the actual fear, I'm sure they won't be able to pinpoint the exact thing that's going to happen that they are afraid of. Because of avidya. We create these huge scenes in the future, these huge problems in the future, and we miss out on the present. So I was upset. I came to the party upset, and for the first hour or so, I could not enjoy the music. I could not enjoy the dancing, the food. So what was happening? Could I actually help my mother in that moment? No. Whatever help I gave to her in that phone call. Whatever I said to her. The energy that you send, all of that. But then you have to come back to your present moment. You have to. And life is such that this thing about being a victim pulls you back. It's very interesting. It's complicated. It's like everyone's going to feel sorry for you. You want that sorry. You want everyone to think that you have the biggest problem of all. Oh my God, see how much she's going through. What all she's going through. Why? Why? You're not going through anything. You're not going through everything. Whatever, these are all a series of happenings. And then in the end, wherever we came from, we're also going to go. They got an earlier ticket, we're going to take a later flight. Ultimately, we're going to reach the same destination. Why are we getting so anxious about how we're going to deal with things? We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. So in the new year, the first thing I want you to write on your cards is that I will not be a victim. You try reading that every single day. I'm going to do it. I don't know about you, but I'm going to do it. Every single day, I will not be a victim. I will be a victor, as Joel Osteen says, not a victim. I will make my day matter. I will make my time matter. I will make my words matter. I'll make everything I do matter, because when you're the victim, even your words and thoughts become violent. There is a resentment, right? A resentment against the world, a bitterness that comes in, that spoils the sweet words that should be coming out of your mouth. And a feeling that they're getting everything. See, that thought should never come to your head. You might be going through a really difficult time. You don't have a job. Your house is, you don't know how you're going to pay the next mortgage. And you think, that person, how is it that they never suffer? And soon enough, the down cycle starts for them. You feel terrible. Then you feel that guilt, what Guruji calls the culprit consciousness. You feel like you're responsible for that person's misery because you had those evil thoughts. Everything seems to be wonderful for them. Don't you have people like that you notice, that you see? Always in the fancy cars going for vacation. They're the ones that are going for vacation all the time. They're the ones attending all the wonderful occasions. Everything seems to be working fine for them. Life seems to be... How do they do this? Right? And it occurs to you. These are thoughts of a violent nature. They're resentful thoughts. You don't realize this. But it comes from being a victim. So we will not do that. We will not be victims. And by not being a victim, we're going to have only good, uplifting, generating thoughts. And we need to do this in 2017. We need to lift others up. We need to be, sending out messages that are positive and uplifting, not doomsday scenarios. We don't need that. We've got that plate. We watch out for it. But we continually keep our energy positive and we lift other people. Because what is good for the community is good for us. What is good for the country is good for us. What is good for the nation is good for us. What is good for the universe is good for us. You are very much a powerful voice in this universe. And if you are not a victim, you're going to make a big difference. So